Now at 5, we'll tell you what's being done to reduce long lines and wait times at early vote centers in Marion County.
Haven't mailed your absentee ballot yet? The drop-off option just announced to make sure it arrives in time and is counted. And Indiana National Guardsmen train for deployment in their home state to join the fight against coronavirus, the mission that begins in just days.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
Now first at 5, the home of the Colts will begin welcoming early voters tomorrow. It's part of an effort to alleviate some of the long wait times voters are experiencing in Marion County. For the first time ever, the Marion County Election Board unanimously voted to approve an additional early vote center in order to keep up with demand. WRTV's Megan SANCTORUM is live downtown with more on this. Megan.
Yeah, Amanda, right now we are outside the city county building, and if you take a look, you can see there is still a very long line here. The estimated wait time to vote right now, more than 2 hours. But hopefully this is the last day people will experience lines like this, because starting tomorrow, Lucas Oil will open up and be the largest early vote center. Take a look. This is what it looks like inside. This is the South Concourse there. Crews spent the day setting these machines up. There are 56 express vote machines. That's roughly double the amount of any other early voting location. The opening of this additional early vote center required a unanimous vote of all 3 board members. And those we spoke with who are out here voting today say they didn't mind the wait, but they're glad this additional site is opening up.
Wish I would have known about it before. No, I think it's great. I think the more access you give to people is really important, especially right now.
What really can you do? Because nobody ever expected this. This is something that's unique because we never had such a high turnout.
What I'll say is thank you for your patience. Our voters have been extremely patient during this early voting period, and hopefully this site will alleviate some of the wait that voters have experienced to this point.
Earlier this week, the Marion County Clerk extended the hours here at her office at the City County Building to 9 o'clock. So as long as you are in line by 9 o'clock here tonight, you can still cast your vote tonight. As for Lucas Oil Stadium, that will be open from 10 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. Reporting live, Megan SANCTORUM, WRTV.
The addition of Lucas Oil Stadium is meant to help reduce wait times, as some voters have told us have been as much as 7 hours since satellite sites opened last Saturday in Marion County. You can check indyvotetimes.org to see the wait times before you head out. Right now at St. Luke's United Methodist Church, the wait is about 4.5 hours. At the Lawrence Township Schools Administration Building, about 1.5 hours. Again, check indyvotetimes.org before you head out. And the latest numbers from the Indiana Secretary of State's office shows that more than 1.5 million Hoosiers have already voted this year. That includes more than 1 million who have voted in person. Voter turnout is already past the halfway point of the final vote count in the 2016 presidential election, and we still don't know today's numbers. That total includes nearly 480,000 mail-in ballots. If you have not mailed in your absentee ballot yet and are concerned it might not make it by Tuesday's noon deadline, the Postal Service will offer a drop-off option for you. That location is the main post office in downtown Indianapolis, 125 West South Street. Voters from any county can use this option tomorrow through Monday. On Tuesday, it's Marion County voters only. You can hand your ballot to a Postal Service employee tomorrow and Sunday from 2 to 4, Monday from 3 to 10, and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Voters who are waiting in line to cast their ballots in person are trying to be especially careful to stay safe due to COVID-19. Today, the state reported a second straight day of new cases over 3,000, but a bit lower than yesterday. The exact number of new cases, 3,205. They were recorded between October 15th and yesterday. The statewide total since March now tops 175,000. The positivity rate continues to climb. The overall rate for unique individuals is now 10.4%, and the 7-day rate is up to 14.6%. The state also reported 26 more deaths of people with COVID. Those deaths occurred between September 25th and yesterday. The statewide total is now 4,050. More than 400 Indiana National Guardsmen are getting trained today as the state aims to stop the spread of COVID-19 in long-term care facilities. The Guardsmen gathered at Camp Atterbury to learn about everything from registration and testing to infection control procedures and visitation protocol. Residents at nursing homes have been hit hard by COVID-19, making up nearly 60% of the state's deaths. Nursing homes have struggled with staffing shortages, which is why the state is sending in the National Guard to help starting on Monday.
They're going to help the staff through things like wellness checks at entrance points, taking temperatures, monitoring compliance for CDC guidelines, helping to sanitize compartments, those kinds of things that will actually allow the staff to focus their energy and their effort on our most vulnerable population.
We're here to help people, so we have to understand the people we're helping, the situations they're in, so that we can help them to the best of our abilities and support the CDC.
Indiana National Guardsmen will work in 133 long-term care facilities starting on Monday. Eventually, they will expand to 1,350 guardsmen at all of the state's 534 long-term care facilities.
Here's a nice change of pace. Finally seeing some sunshine across central Indiana, going to set us up for a beautiful sunset here. Temperature is a little cool though today. We made it to 50 for an afternoon high in the Circle City. Right now we sit at 49. A little bit of a breeze out of the northwest actually knocks that temperature back. What it feels like is 45 degrees. So technically we got a wind chill out there, but nothing we can't handle. We'll continue to see these temperatures tumbling a little bit with those mostly clear skies in place. We got numbers around the mid to upper 40s. Greenfield, Columbus at 46 right now, 44 in Richmond. There's still some lower 50s off to the southwest. Sullivan and Bloomington at 52. That's where we've had a little more sunshine, just a few more clouds kind of hanging on here across the eastern portion of the state. No rain at all with those. They will continue to swing into Ohio, and actually want to show you the national view at just how quiet things are. There's still some wet weather in the northeast and also off to the northwest, but this is a pattern change for us that's going to bring several dry days and nice weather if you're going to be heading out for some of those football games. As far as being dry, it is going to be chilly out there, so you are going to need to layer up a little bit, maybe take that blanket. Temperatures in the upper 30s here by 9 o'clock. Clear skies and 37 at 11.
And more of your Democracy 2020 coverage. We are heading into the final weekend of the years-long race for president. And it's a sprint to the finish, just 4 days until Election Day. And President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden are both eyeing key battleground states in the Midwest. ABC's Alex Perche reports.
A last-minute push in the Midwest. First, President Trump in Michigan, former Vice President Joe Biden in Iowa, then both heading to events in Wisconsin and Minnesota. The president trying to make his case on the economy.
We opened it up, and now we're at a level. I used to talk about the V. This is a super V.
But COVID-19 is surging in both states. Wisconsin officials saying they're on track to run out of ICU beds and nurses to staff them in as little as 2 weeks if infections don't slow down. And Minnesota has limited the president's rally to just 250 people after health officials linked at least 23 COVID cases to his rallies last month. An internal HHS memo obtained by ABC News shows more than 5,600 Americans died from COVID-19 in the past week. And the CDC projections show the country's death toll could soar past 250,000 by Thanksgiving, something Joe Biden is hitting the president hard on.
Unlike Donald Trump, we'll not surrender to this virus. I'm going to put in place a plan to deal with this pandemic.
Some reliably red states like Arizona and Georgia are now in play.
It's so good to see you, Texas.
Also Texas, which has already counted more early votes than all of the statewide ballots cast in 2016.
Today is the last day of early voting in Texas, and you all have been doing your thing.
Biden's running mate Kamala Harris making 3 stops there today, including Houston. There, Harris County officials have set up 24-hour polling locations for 1 day. Vice President Pence is also on the trail, making stops in Arizona, where 538's polling average has Biden with a 3-point lead. Pence trying to hold on to the state for the GOP.
Tomorrow, Joe Biden will join his biggest surrogate, President Obama, in Michigan. They have 2 stops there. President Trump will travel to Pennsylvania, and it only gets busier from there as the president has 14 rallies scheduled in 3 days. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
And on Tuesday, it's Election Day Live here at WRTV, your place for local updated coverage all day from the polls, looking at key races, analysis, and of course results when they come in. Look for us on the WRTV app on your streaming device. We will also provide you live results throughout the night here on WRTV with a complete wrap up on the news at 11. Planning to visit Michigan and eat in a restaurant? Prepare to share some personal information. Michigan is tightening restrictions to stop the spread of COVID-19. The Michigan Department of Health says starting Monday, bars and restaurants will have to collect the names and phone numbers of patrons to assist with contact tracing. And indoor venues with fixed seating can only allow a maximum of 50 people at a time, down from 500. Full House actress Lori Loughlin is preparing to spend her first night in prison. Federal authorities say she has reported to a federal prison in California to begin serving her 2-month sentence for her role in the college admissions bribery scandal. Loughlin was sentenced in August, and her husband received a 5-month sentence for paying $500,000 in bribes to get their 2 daughters into USC as rowing recruits. Still ahead on WRTV, adding difficulty to an already painful time for a family. A woman dies, but the landlord still wants to collect rent from her family for months. Can landlords do that? We're getting answers. You get an extra hour of sleep this weekend, but there's also something else you should do to help keep you and your family safe.
And get ready for some chilly nights. That includes middle 20s here as we get into early next week. We also have a warm-up to talk about, the 7-day planning forecast. You're watching WRTV News at 5.
It's hard enough dealing with the heartbreak of a sudden death. Now, a family is fighting something that's known as the renter death penalty. It happens when someone who rents dies unexpectedly but still has months left on their lease. Consumer reporter John Matarese shows us one family struggled to get out of this so you don't waste your money.
If someone you love who lives in an apartment dies, you'd assume the landlord would just tear up the lease. But many families find that's often not the case. Carrie Davis is mourning the loss of her beloved mother and at the same time battling her mom's apartment complex.
This is my mom's bedroom.
Despite her mom's death, she says the complex still wants 6 months' rent. What did they tell you?
They said we needed to sign a buyout agreement in order to get out of that 1-year lease.
She can't believe the family has to keep paying for an empty apartment.
So the grandkids aren't going to get the gifts this Christmas because we have to pay an apartment complex.
While this might seem unfair, even heartless, if it was your family member who passed away, in most states the law protects the landlord, not the family, when this happens.
The law is pretty clear on this right now, that if someone does pass away, the decedent's estate is still responsible for the full term of the lease.
Attorney Pavan Parikh says this is often called the renter death penalty. A handful of states like Pennsylvania and Colorado are now outlawing it. But even there, landlords sometimes still ask for the full rent.
It is a scenario that the law needs to do a better job of contemplating.
Carrie would like to see tougher laws to protect the survivors of those who pass away.
Protect our residents and even our COVID victims from incurring thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt just for dying.
Now, taking this to court could cost a lot more than the rent, so try negotiating with the landlords so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, WRTV.
Well, Lowe's is hiring Hoosiers for the holiday season. Lowe's says it will be hiring 20,000 people nationwide at its U.S. stores and regional distribution centers to support customer demand for the holidays. The company says some of those workers will be eligible for permanent jobs after the season as well. Lowe's says it's also giving its frontline workers a 6th round of bonuses to help support them and their families during the pandemic. You can find out more about how to apply at hiringhoosiers.com. Tomorrow is Halloween and trick or treat, one of the most favorite days of the year for many kids, but due to COVID-19, it is a bit different. Many communities canceled planned activities, and some parents may not feel safe letting their children go house to house. State and local health officials are recommending against close contact, door-to-door trick or treating, and suggesting drive-through events or car parades. However, if your kids are going out, IMPD has some traditional safety reminders: wear bright colors, use sidewalks, bring flashlights, and new this year, keep your distance from others.
We are also encouraging them to practice social distancing, allowing time for other individuals to go up to the door first, giving them enough time to grab their candy and walk away before the next family walks up to that door as well.
She also said if you don't see a light on at a particular house, please skip that house because it means the resident is not participating. You can find a list of trick-or-treat times and activities on our website at WRTV.com. Kyle Mounts joins us now with a look at our forecast and what's it going to look like for those trick-or-treaters tomorrow.
You know, it really does look pretty good out there, Amanda. Many years, even last year, we had a trace of snow and the kids really had to layer up there. But for your Halloween evening, here's a look at those temperatures. We're still going to be around 50 degrees at 7 o'clock, mostly clear skies, a little breezy, south wind at 10 miles per hour. And as we get to 9 o'clock tomorrow evening, we are in the upper 40s with clear skies. Something we've seen a little more of today, a little more sunshine out there. 49 right now in Indy, 47 for you in Kokomo. Check out Shelbyville and Muncie coming in with temperatures in the lower 50s right now. But it is going to be another chilly night here in central Indiana with many spots dipping down into the 20s and the rest of us in the lower 30s. 29 tonight in Lafayette, 28 in Peru, and 31 in Columbus. Richmond at 30 degrees. Now, you do have a freeze warning in effect. It's actually from Richmond through Seymour and areas to the southeast. Reason is the growing season has already ended for the rest of us, so that's why we don't see that more widespread, and that's likely to be the last of the freeze warnings here for the season. Lots of sunshine going to be back with us on Saturday, so we'll get to enjoy that again. Temperatures, though, remaining on the cool side here. Average high is around 60. We'll make it to the middle 40s at noon, middle 50s for an afternoon high, and a little breezy at times. We'll see gusts around 20 miles per hour as we go throughout our Saturday, but it is that south wind, so that brings our temperatures up a few degrees over what we had today. 52 in Richmond, 55 in Lafayette, and close to 60 in Bloomington. Now, as you're out there tomorrow evening on Halloween, we've got a full moon, and that actually doesn't happen very often. The last time was in 1955. The next time, 2039. It's also rare because it's a blue moon. It's the second full moon of the month here because we had the first one there on October 1st. So should be able to see it real nice and bright out there tomorrow night as we are going to have mostly clear skies. Saturday night into Sunday, though, the winds are going to turn breezy, and we'll see those gusts as we go into Sunday, 30 to 35 miles per hour, maybe a little bit higher than that. Also notice that those winds shift around on Sunday out of the northwest. So that's going to be bringing in some cooler air. We will see those temperatures in the middle 50s tomorrow, 46 on Sunday, but that's actually in the morning. Those temperatures start sliding back as we go into the afternoon to the lower 40s. Cool day for us on Monday. And then as we look ahead to Election Day there itself, 59 degrees, should be sunny. That's the start of a warming trend and really looking pretty good here the second half of next week with highs actually approaching 70 with sunshine as we get into next Friday. But this weekend, don't forget that you fall back. Daylight saving time comes to an end. Here's what it does to that sunset, though. I don't know that I'm ready for this, Amanda. It sets at 5:41. Sunday evening. So before 6 o'clock, it's going to be dark out there.
It's going to take some getting used to. Thank you, Kyle. This weekend's time change serves as a seasonal reminder to check the batteries in all of your smoke detectors. Rafael Sanchez talks with a safety expert about why the message isn't sinking in, even though it's said very often.
Joining us now is the Deputy Chief of the Bargersville Fire Department, Mike Pruitt. And Mike, it doesn't matter what season we're in, those smoke detectors play a vital role in keeping all of us safe.
Absolutely. I mean, we never know when fire may break out in our home, but if you don't have a working smoke alarm, there's going to be tragic consequences. And so this is the most affordable safety device you can put in your home to keep your family safe throughout the year. Whether cold weather, warm weather, doesn't matter. You should always have a working smoke alarm on every level of your home, if not in every sleeping space.
Why do you think people, you talk about it, it's an easy thing to keep in the house, but why do you think people just don't buy into the message that that can save your life?
Most of us have never had a fire in our home. So we think, yeah, but it'll never happen to me. You know, it goes off every once in a while. Well, maybe we burn something in the kitchen, but fire will never happen to us. But if you speak to people that either did not have a working smoke alarm and survived, or people that did have an alarm that went off in the middle of the night, you get a true understanding of just how important these are to getting your family out safe.
Mike Pruitt, Deputy Chief, Bargersville Fire Department, thank you so much.
Thank you, Raphael.
If you can't afford a smoke detector, call your local fire department to see if they can help. Many offer and install the safety devices for free. Still ahead on the news at 5, the MCRIB is coming back, but is it here to stay when the popular sandwich will return to the menu? Well, here's something to get your mouth watering for many of you. McDonald's is bringing back the MCRIB. The pork patty smothered in barbecue sauce will be available starting Monday for a limited time. It's the first time it's being offered nationally since 2012. McDonald's usually offers it regionally at limited locations, but this time around, more than 14,000 U.S. restaurants will get it. Here's a fun fact. You can get a MCRIB year-round in Germany. Voters and poll workers are getting conflicting information about whether you can change your mind about the process you used to vote. We are digging into this question, what we are finding out, and the worry the confusion is causing. That's tonight at 6. But still ahead on the news at 5:30, helping instill confidence in women battling breast cancer and helping them feel their best. A woman who knows firsthand is helping to make it happen. Her story just ahead.